Here at alwaysAI, we are well aware that an investment in a new technology such as computer vision is not an easy decision, considering the initial amount of time and resources required to get started. In this video, I would like to clarify some common misconceptions about the development process and help you understand how you can maximize the return on your investment with alwaysAI's platform and potential way to mitigate the business risk associated with the investment. I'll start with an example use case that demonstrates the key points. For my example, let's say that I'm a decision maker for a local county fair. The operators of my most visited roller coaster, Mega Ride, have been reporting every now and then instances where they had to stop service to customers because they noticed that the temporary fences were falling over, allowing people to get a little bit too close to the ride, which clearly poses a security and safety risk. As a decision maker, and this might sound a little bit like Business 101 for many, I probably want to first learn more about how often this happens and how it affects my business operations before making any further decisions. Only then would I assess potential corrective actions to mitigate that risk, and lastly, measure the outcomes of the action taken to see whether the problem has been solved or not. A possible, more traditional approach to get a better understanding of the scale of the risk is to hire additional personnel to monitor and record every incident, hoping that over time it gives insight into the scale of the problem. But upon contacting alwaysAI with this use case, I was told that computer vision indeed could be another potential solution, and was presented with an estimated cost, a time frame, and a path to get those insights by using existing cameras around the fair to automatically record every instance of an incomplete barrier or a person in a restricted area. In the short term, the first option might seem more affordable cost and time-wise. But that's where I would like to point out the first misconception of computer vision: that every application is a separate effort and a separate variable cost. It's not. In fact, after learning about the scale of and solving the problem at Mega Ride, we can, with minimal effort and cost, extend it to monitor all the other rides too, making the platform cost closer to a fixed cost rather than a variable cost. But we're not even done yet. Another misconception is that use cases are not easily expandable and that an expansion would be as costly as the initial work. Quite the contrary. If the ride safety problem analysis for Mega Ride proves itself to require corrective action, we can build upon the existing analytics application and expand the use case to also alert the staff in real time whenever a broken barrier is detected. The leap for that expansion would require minimal development work. And did I mention that throughout the entire life cycle of the application, the collected data can already be analyzed in our analytics dashboard to determine whether the frequency of incidents has decreased? There's no need to budget another cost to evaluate the risk response. Imagine the overall cost savings with computer vision compared to the first manual monitoring option. The last misconception I would like to go over is that there is no overlap between different use cases, making it expensive to build a variety of use cases in your business. This is arguably the biggest trick to maximizing your return on the investment into computer vision. We can reuse and adapt the current infrastructure and application to develop new use cases. And the cost of these new use cases will be much smaller than the first one. So, if I now want to, in addition to keeping track of any fallen barriers around my rides, I can also request to start gathering insights about the customers. Which rides have the longest lines? Do ride operators wear their PPE equipment or brand uniforms? Or what percentage of my customers are on wheelchairs? Which hours of the day do I have the most customers? All of these questions, and possibly infinitely more, could potentially be answered using computer vision. The alwaysAI team can make recommendations and outline the most effective way to achieve these goals while being budget conscious. An investment in the alwaysAI platform doesn't just provide value for the initial use case. It is a beginning of a relationship of increasing value as you tackle additional use cases and improve your business with the power of computer vision.